I wasn't planning to tell anyone this, but how do you handle a child calling you mom when his father calls you beautiful in the same breath? I'm standing in David's kitchen, the aroma of fresh coffee filling the air, when Ethan, his 6-year-old son, tugs my hand. Mom, can we make pancakes? He asks, his big brown eyes sparkling. My heart stops. Mom, I'm just David's girlfriend, not even a year into this, and that word feels like a seismic shift. The counter's cool granite under my fingertips grounds me, but I'm reeling, caught between joy and panic. I'm 29, a teacher who loves kids, always nurturing, always the one to volunteer for story time or bandage a scraped knee. David's different, steady, reserved, a single dad who's cautious with his heart. We met at a school event, me helping with Ethan's class. Him quiet but kind, his smile rare but warm. Ethan's trust is the opposite, open and instant. And I've grown to love our weekends together, building forts, reading bedtime stories. But Mom is new, heavy with stakes I didn't expect. It's not just about me and David anymore. It's about this little boy who's starting to see me as family. David's in the living room flipping through a newspaper, unaware of the moment. Ethan. I'm not. I start, but his grin stops me. I don't want to break his heart. Sure, pancakes sound great, I say, forcing a smile. The sizzle of batter on the pan fills the silence, but my mind's racing. I'm not ready to be a mum. Am I? I moved to this city for a fresh start, not to step into a ready-made family. Yet Ethan's giggle as he pours syrup makes me wonder if I could be. I glance at David, his broad shoulders hunched over the paper. He's been clear we're serious but slow. No rush. So why does Ethan's word feel like a promise I didn't make? My nurturing side wants to lean in to be what Ethan needs, but my caution screams to protect myself. The kitchen's warm, the coffee's bitter steam curling up, and I'm torn. This could be love family, everything I've wanted, but it's also a risk, my heart, my identity, all on the line. As Ethan hugs me, his small arms tight, one question burns. What does this mean for us now? Ethan's pancake crumbs are still on the table, the kitchen now quiet except for the faint drip of the coffee maker. I'm washing dishes, the warm soapy water, a fleeting comfort against my swirling thoughts. Ethan's mom is still echoing a weight I can't shake when David walks in, his presence filling the small space. He's usually so reserved, but tonight there's a softness in his eyes that catches me off guard. You're amazing with him, he says, leaning against the counter. Then quieter. I didn't see you that way before. You're beautiful. My breath catches. The words are simple, but they land like a spark igniting something I didn't expect. I didn't see you that way before could clip perfectly for a shareable moment, raw and real. I'm frozen sponge in hand, the suds popping softly. My nurturing side, the one that's poured so much into Ethan, is clashing with a new, dangerous feeling desire. David's not just Ethan's dad anymore. He's a man who sees me, really sees me, in a way that makes my heart race. But this shift terrifies me. Ethan's trust his sweet mom from this morning feels like a sacred line. Am I betraying him by even feeling this? The stakes are higher now, not just my heart, but this fragile family we're building. I manage a smile, my voice shaky. Thanks, that's sweet. David steps closer, his hand brushing mine as he takes a mug from the rack. I mean it, he says, his voice low. The touch is brief, but it lingers warm and electric. I pull back, focusing on the dishes, but my mind's a mess. I've always been cautious, the one who plans every step. Yet here I am, caught between duty and this pull toward David. My best friend Lena would laugh. She's bold, always pushing me to take risks. Live a little, she'd say. But this isn't just living. It's risking Ethan's world. The kitchen's still warm from breakfast. The faint syrup scent a callback to Ethan's giggle. That moment felt safe, pure. Now David's compliment has cracked something open, and I'm not sure I can close it. I think about Lena's advice, but also her warning last month. Don't lose yourself in someone else's family. She's right. I could lose my identity, my careful boundaries if I let this go further. But David's gaze, steady and kind, makes me wonder if I'm already in too deep. I dry my hands, the towel rough against my skin, and turn to face him. I'm glad Ethan's happy, I say, dodging the compliment, trying to steer us back to safe ground. He nods, but his eyes don't leave mine, and I feel the air shift. My internal conflict is screaming love versus loyalty, want versus right. I want to be the woman Ethan needs, but David's words are pulling me somewhere else. As he leaves the kitchen, his shoulder brushing mine, one question. Burns. Am I betraying Ethan by feeling this way? The park is alive with autumn's glow, the crunch of fallen leaves underfoot, a vivid anchor as Ethan races ahead, his laughter bouncing off the trees. David's beside me, pushing an empty stroller, his presence warm but heavier now, charged with that kitchen moment last night. Ethan's mum and David's beautiful are tangled in my mind, pulling me closer to this family, while my caution screams to slow down. We're here for Ethan's soccer game, but my heart's playing its own match, torn between the joy of these moments and the fear of blurring lines. Ethan scores a goal, his grin wide as he waves at us. Did you see that, he shouts? And I clap my voice bright. Amazing buddy. David's hand grazes my back, a casual touch that feels anything but. He's lucky to have you, he says, his tone soft but loaded. I smile, but my stomach twists. This should be simple cheering, for Ethan being part of his world, but David's warmth is making it complicated. My nurturing side thrives here, soaking up Ethan's trust, but every glance from David chips away at my boundaries. We sit on a bench, Ethan back on the field, and David starts talking about his week, his voice easy, his humor sneaking in. I swear Ethan's coach thinks he's training the next Messi, he jokes, and I laugh, the tension easing for a moment. It's light, almost normal, a tonal shift that feels like a break from the weight I'm carrying. But then he turns serious, his eyes locking on mine. I don't say it enough, but you're changing us. For the better. My heart leaps, but my gut clenches. He's not just talking about Ethan. The leaves keep crunching as kids run by, their shouts mixing with the crisp air. I think back to the kitchen, the suds on my hands, how David's compliment cracked something open. Now every shared moment watching Ethan joking about his coach feels like it's pulling me deeper. Lena's warning echoes, don't lose yourself. She's bold, unafraid, the opposite of my careful planning. But I'm losing my grip, caught between wanting this family and fearing what it means. Ethan's trust, David's growing affection. It's all so fragile, and the stakes are clear. One wrong move could break this. I shift on the bench, the wood cold through my jeans. Ethan's the star today, I say, redirecting, but David's hand rests on mine, brief but deliberate. You're a star too, he says, and I pull back my smile tight. The emotional moment hits joy at being wanted. Fear of going too far. I love Ethan's giggles, David's steadiness, but this is moving too fast. My boundaries are blurring and I'm not sure I can stop it. As Ethan runs back, hugging me, his small hands sticky with sweat, I wonder, how close is too close before I lose what matters most? The living room is dim, the flicker of a cartoon on the TV casting shadows, as Ethan sleeps on the couch, his small chest rising and falling. I'm sitting on the floor, a blanket draped over my knees, the soft wool a tactile anchor against the storm in my head. David's beside me, closer than usual, his arm resting on the couch behind me. Dinner was quiet spaghetti. Ethan's chatter about soccer. But now with Ethan asleep, the air feels thick, charged with everything unsaid since the park. His beautiful from the kitchen, his touch at the game they're building to something, and I'm terrified of what comes next. I'm trying to focus on the TV, but David's voice cuts through, low and deliberate. I'm falling for you, he says, his eyes searching mine. The words hit like a punch, raw and vulnerable. "I'm falling for you" could go viral, a clip that captures the heart of this moment. My breath catches my nurturing side warring with the fear of what this means for Ethan, for us. I've always been cautious, the one who plans every step, but David's sincerity is unraveling me. The stakes are crushing Ethan's trust. This family, we're building my own heart. I shift the blanket, slipping. "David, we can't," I whisper, but my voice wavers. He leans closer, his hand brushing my cheek, gentle but electric. "Why not?" he asks, his tone soft but pressing. "I see how you are with Ethan. You're already part of us." His words echo Ethan's mom, a callback that twists my gut. I want this, his warmth, this family, but it's not that simple. Lena's warning rings in my ears. "Don't lose yourself." She'd tell me to run to protect my boundaries, but my heart's screaming to stay. The TV's hum fills the silence, a cartoon laugh track jarring against the tension. I think about Ethan asleep, just feet away. How he hugged me at the park, his sticky hands trusting. If I let this go further, what happens to him? To the role I'm stepping into? David's reserved nature has softened, but this intensity is new, and I'm not sure I can handle it. My vulnerability spills out. I'm scared, I admit, my voice cracking. I don't want to hurt Ethan, or us. David nods his hand, dropping, but his eyes don't leave mine. "I don't either," he says, but it feels like a promise we can't keep. I stand needing space, the floor creaking under me. This is a moral crisis, love versus duty, desire versus right. I could lose everything if this goes wrong. Comment below. What's the toughest choice you've faced in love? I need to know I'm not alone. As David watches me, his expression torn, one question burns. Can I keep this family together, or am I about to break it apart? The morning sun filters through my apartment's blinds, casting thin stripes across the hardwood floor. I'm sitting on my couch, a cold coffee mug in my hands, the ceramic smooth but heavy, anchoring me as my mind churns. Last night's moment with David, his "I'm falling for you," the weight of his touch has left me raw, torn between my heart and my head. Ethan's mom echoes in my ears, a callback to the kitchen, but now it feels like a warning, not a gift. My internal conflict is relentless. I want David, this family, but at what cost to Ethan, to my integrity? The stakes are suffocating his trust, our future, my sense of self. I called Lena last night after leaving David's, my voice shaky as I spilled everything. "You're in deep," she said, her bold tone cutting through. "But what does Ethan need?" That's the real question. She's right as always, her bluntness a contrast to my overthinking. I've always been cautious, planning every move, but love's messy, and I'm drowning in it. Ethan's giggle at the park, his small hand in mine, replays in my mind. He's starting to see me as family, and that trust is sacred. But David's sincerity, his steady gaze, pulls me towards something I've never felt before. I set the mug down, the faint clink grounding me. The emotional moment hits as I admit the truth to myself. I'm falling for David too. It's not just his words or his touch. It's the way he listens, the way he's opened up, the way we're building something with Ethan. But every step closer to him feels like a step away from the boundaries I swore to keep. I think about that first mom in the kitchen, how it warmed me, how it scared me. Now it's a reminder of what's at risk if I let my feelings win. My phone buzzes David's name on the screen. "Can we talk?" his text reads. My heart races, but I don't reply, not yet. I need to sort this out alone. Lena's question. What does Ethan need is my compass, but it's not simple. Ethan needs stability, a family. But David and I are human, flawed, navigating feelings we didn't plan. If we pursue this, what happens if it falls apart? I'd lose them both, and Ethan would lose another piece of his world. But denying my heart feels like losing myself. I stand pacing the floor, cool under my socks. My nurturing side wants to fix this to make everyone happy, but I can't. I have to choose love or duty, risk or safety. The hum of my ceiling fan fills the silence, a steady rhythm against my racing thoughts. I want to be the woman Ethan trusts, the partner David deserves, but right now I'm just me, scared and unsure. As I stare at David's text, one question burns. What's the right choice when love and loyalty collide? I'm back at David's house, the familiar creak of the front door, a faint anchor as I step inside. It's been 2 days since his text, and I've agreed to talk, but my stomach's in knots. The living room smells of Ethan's crayons scattered on the coffee table, but the air feels heavier, thick with everything unsaid. David's on the couch, his reserved nature softened by a nervous smile. Ethan's at a friend's giving us space, but his absence looms large. My internal conflict is a vice, my feelings for David are undeniable, but pulling back to protect Ethan is tearing me apart. The stakes are brutal, this family. My heart, our trust. I sit across from David, the couch's worn fabric, rough under my palms. I can't keep pretending I don't feel this. He says, his voice low but steady, but I know it's complicated. His honesty cuts echoing his beautiful from the kitchen, a callback that stings with possibility and guilt. I want to lean into him to let this love grow, but Ethan's mom haunts me. I thought we were a team. I say, my voice cracking a shareable line, raw with hurt. David's eyes flicker with pain, but he nods. We are. But what does that mean for us? The question hangs unanswered. I've been wrestling with Lena's advice, focus on Ethan's needs, but it's messier now. Pulling back has already strained us. David's quieter, Ethan's confused. Yesterday, Ethan asked, "Are you mad at Daddy?" His small voice breaking my heart. I reassured him, but the lie felt heavy. My nurturing side wants to fix this to keep Ethan's world intact, but my heart's screaming for David. The tension's unraveling us, and I'm terrified we're on the edge of breaking. I stand pacing the floor, cool beneath my socks. I love you. I admit the words slipping out raw and reckless. David's face softens, but I rush on. But Ethan comes first. If we do this and it fails, he's the one who suffers. David leans forward, his hands clasped. I know he says, his voice thick, but I don't want to lose you. The emotional weight hits love, clashing with duty desire, with fear. Lena's bold voice echoes, "Don't lose yourself." But I'm losing something either way. David, Ethan, or me. The crayon scent lingers Ricciardo, a sensory reminder of Ethan's trust. My choice risks this family, and the fallout's already here. Ethan's confusion, David's distance. If I choose love, I could shatter Ethan's stability. If I choose duty, I'm denying my heart, maybe pushing David away for good. As I meet David's gaze, his eyes searching, one question burns. Will we break apart, or can we find a way through this? The park bench is cold beneath me, the late afternoon air carrying the sharp scent of pine. I'm meeting David here, away from the house, to finally lay everything bare. Ethan's with Lena, probably drawing her another superhero picture, and that thought steadies me. My heart's racing, but the vulnerability I've been carrying since his mom and David's beautiful is shifting into clarity. I've spent days wrestling with love and duty, but today I'm choosing integrity for Ethan, for David, for myself. The stakes are everything, this family, my heart, our future. David arrives, his reserved nature softened by the way he sits close, his hands fidgeting. I've been thinking about what you said. I start, my voice steady, despite the knot in my chest. I love you, but Ethan's world comes first. The words are raw, a key emotional moment that feels like shedding a weight. David nods, his eyes locked on mine. I know, he says, his voice thick. I want what's best for him too. His sincerity echoes the warmth from the park. That day we laughed about Ethan's coach, but now it's laced with resolve. I take a breath, the pine scent grounding me. We need boundaries, I say. Not because I don't want you, but because Ethan needs stability, more than we need this. right now. My nurturing side, the one that's poured into Ethan's giggles and bedtime stories, is leading me. David's quiet for a moment, then reaches for my hand. "You're right," he says, his grip firm but gentle. "I got caught up, but I respect this. I respect you." His words hit deep, soothing the fear I've carried since the living room, when his "I'm falling for you" cracked my world open. This isn't the end, but it's a turning point. We agree to slow down to focus on Ethan co-parenting, not romance for now. It's not what my heart wants, but it's what my conscience demands. Lena's advice, "Don't lose yourself," echoes a callback to her bold warning. She'd be proud. I think of this choice to protect Ethan's trust over my own desires. David's respect, his willingness to step back, shows me we can rebuild, maybe stronger with time. As we stand, the bench creaking, I feel lighter, like I've reclaimed my voice. The emotional weight of this choice, prioritizing integrity, has shifted something in me. I'm not just the woman Ethan calls mom or the one David calls beautiful. I'm me, learning to balance love with responsibility. The sun's dipping low, casting long shadows, and I know this isn't the end of our story. Just a new chapter. Can we rebuild trust and still hold space for what might come later? The soft glow of my apartment's string lights bathes the room as I sit on my couch, a warm throw blanket draped over my legs. It's been weeks since that park bench talk with David, and the quiet of this moment feels like a gift, a chance to reflect. The faint hum of the city outside my window is a gentle anchor grounding me as I trace the journey from Ethan's mom to David's beautiful, to this newfound clarity. The theme of love and duty, so tangled in that title, has settled into a truth. Real love means setting boundaries even when it hurts. My heart's calmer now, but the stakes, Ethan's trust, our family, my integrity still linger in every choice. I sip my tea, the mug's warmth seeping into my palms, a sensory echo of the coffee from that first morning in David's kitchen. Ethan's still a bright light in my life. Last weekend, he hugged me tight after we built a pillow fort, his giggle pure and unburdened. David and I are navigating this new space, co-parenting with care, our connection deepened by respect, not romance. It's not the love story I imagined, but it's honest, and that feels right. My nurturing side thrives in Ethan's joy, while my cautious planning keeps our boundaries clear. Lena's been my rock, her bold voice cutting through my doubts. "You chose yourself," she said yesterday, her pride warming me more than this tea. Her warning, "Don't lose yourself," was my guide, a callback that kept me grounded. I've learned that integrity isn't just about saying no to love. It's about saying yes to who I want to be. Ethan's trust, David's respect, my own heart. They're all intact because I chose what lasts over what feels good in the moment. I'm sharing this because I know I'm not alone. What's a boundary you've set to protect something precious? Comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. Love's messy, and so is family, but those hard choices shape us. I'm still part of Ethan and David's world, still the woman who makes pancakes and cheers at soccer games. But I'm also me, stronger for knowing where I stand. The city hums on the lights twinkle, and I lean back, content. Some stories don't end with a kiss, but with a promise to keep growing. And maybe that's the most beautiful part.